What's up, sports fans, and welcome to the Sports Opinions podcast, New York Jets fantasy focus for week number 7. I'm your host, as always, Alex Cuesta, and with me, as always, is the JetPress.com site expert, Mr. Tirado Jr. What up, buddy?
Doing good. How about you, man?
I'm doing really good as well. So last week, Jets played the Colts. You picked Robbie Anderson. I picked Sam Darnold. And with the way Sam Darnold played, you would have thought that Robbie Anderson would have had a huge game too.
You're telling me.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Sam had a great game. I think he had like 17 to 18 fantasy points in most leagues, which is pretty good, especially for a rookie if you have him. Robbie, he just didn't find him. So for whatever reason, Robbie wasn't in the game plan. But that happens when you're a boomer bust, big time type of guy. That happens.
Oh yeah, you never know what can happen on game day.
Exactly. So this week is a pretty tough one to pick. I'm not gonna lie. They're at MetLife again, trying to go for 3 straight for the first time in what feels like since Namath has been around. They will be hosting the Minnesota Vikings, who up to this point have been playing pretty disappointing football in my eyes, because I think they were a lot of people's Super Bowl darlings for a little while. But it's a tough test for the Jets. So who do you have going up against this really tough defense?
For this week, I'm gonna go with Mr. Running Back Bilal Powell. The only reason is I look at what the Jets need to do to win this game, and Isaiah Crowell is dealing with like a foot injury. And my personal rule is always in fantasy football: never, ever start a running back that's dealing with a foot, ankle, or knee injury. I predicted that last week not to start Crowell. He didn't really do much of anything. And this week they'll probably be the same, because knowing how head coach Todd Bowles is, he's probably not going to use him that much. And I have a funny feeling this will be the game that Powell drops either a touchdown or two through the ground. He has yet to score a rushing touchdown this season. He has 1 receiving touchdown. And I think the big game plan for the Jets is to surprise the Vikings by feeding Powell the rock, using him in different formation as a receiving option, and make him like an X factor in offense.
Without a doubt, especially with Quincy Enunwa now going down. I think he's out till like week 11 is the current report. With Quincy Enunwa being out, Bilal Powell is definitely going to have to be a guy that they go to. He's already their Swiss Army knife, so he's definitely a good pick. Now, my pick is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm picking Chris Herndon, the rookie tight end out of Miami, and a lot of people probably looking and going, who the hell is he? He's the guy that caught a touchdown pass late in the game last week from Sam Darnold. What I've been seeing is that Sam does look for Herndon. He had a few drops early in the year, but he likes to target him, and the best friend for a young quarterback is a big tight end. Herndon's athletic. He's quick. He caught that touchdown. And also the Vikings are giving up 7th most fantasy points to tight ends. So I think this week could be a week we see Darnold grow some more, we see Herndon grow some more, and I think he finds Pater another time.
I believe it. I can see that happen. That you could very well have that future sense that you just picked who the guy is going to be for Sunday.
There we go. And if it is, then maybe I should start making some money on my fantasy picks.
You should. You should. The future is now. All
right. So, as always, these are nice and short and sweet. Louis, thank you very much for coming in and giving us your insight. That's Louis Tirado Jr. of thejetpress.com. He is the site expert. Louis, where can people find you on social media?
You guys can find me on Twitter at LTJ81. Same thing on Facebook. Find my Facebook author page at LTJ81. And that's pretty much it.
And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram at @A_Questa30. Find Sports Opinions on Twitter at SportsOpinion30, Instagram SportsOpinions30. Visit the Facebook page. Listen to this podcast and others on Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play Music. And do not forget, go visit thejetpress.com, especially if you're a Jets fan. Awesome content. Follow them on Twitter at @TheJetsPress. And you'll find out a lot of great stuff and get a lot of breaking news and awesome insight. Louis, as always, thank you again, and we will talk to you about this next week some more.
For sure. Take care and keep up the great work.
Have a good one. Go Gang Green. Go Jets. Beat the Vikings. So long.